Hello, my name is Kate Martin. I'm one of the directors of Compass Pools Vic, and I'm actually wanting to request under the Division 4 of the Building Act, the Authority's Internal Review Unit. I have received a notice of decision to impose disciplinary actions in a very impressive document, 36 points, of a very well written document by Caroline Elliott. And I am going to attach a timeline to this, but unfortunately I can't write quite as well as Caroline, and it's such an extensive document that I'm almost intimidated to do a dot point reply on each one. So I'm hoping that this submission will kind of help put my case to you. We are very passionate pool builders that care a lot about our customers and the safety and compliance. So we always try to do the right thing, and I just, every time I've read this 36 point, 4 pages determination, it just sounds horrendous, and I've been very intimidated, I must say, to respond. I've never had this before. We install hundreds of pools a year, and I've never seen this other than the directions. We are seeing more and more come into play in the recent period, which I think is to do with the auditing process. So the timeline, in short, is that with this pool, we started on the 26th of November. We had temporary fencing delivered when we dug the pool, and it was noted in the inspection the temporary fencing was there. We had completed the pool a week later, ready for steel inspection, and when we put the fence around, it was a building site as well, and there's 2 different types of fencing. There was the complete barrier around the site, and then there was our fence, which was for the pool. And I do think in this situation that some of the fencing might have got used for different things. But during the 3rd of December, our fencing didn't comply, and it didn't because we had used part of the house to form the barrier. So we then requested more temporary fencing be delivered so that we could get the temporary fencing around the 4 sides. One of the sides was also the site of the building site, so it was the 1.8 metre fencing. We had advised a building surveyor to come and do an inspection, so that was on after the 3rd. It didn't happen till the 20th December, and then when the building surveyor had gone onto site, and in that 2-week period, we had our customer sign off on the job, we had approval to concrete, we had the customer sign off on the temporary fencing that they would be fully responsible for the temporary fencing. Between then and when the inspector then came back, the customer did have other workers on site building their boundary fence and their deck, so the fencing had been taken down and put back up. Now, I say this not to shift the blame whatsoever, but each person was obviously trying to do the right thing there. There were 2 lots of fencing there, there were a lot of trades, and each day the fencing did go back up. If it wasn't fully and 100% compliant, we do tell the customers, our end users, the homeowners, that is their job, and we have them sign off and we explain that and we show them, and that didn't happen. The building surveyor then worked with the homeowner to get them to make sure their fencing fully complied. They then redid another inspection. I think the homeowner ended up having to pay the building surveyor to come back and resolve all these issues. So at no stage were we under the impression that this was an unsafe site or a huge risk. We knew that there was 2 lots of temporary fencing down there and that it had to go back up and each time. So then January happened, and we actually did not have any other, nothing else came to us until a directions to fix, I think mid-January. Now, I was hit by COVID, the whole company was hit by COVID, so we then got the VBA information, I think late January, about the show cause. And this is, like, I didn't know what a show cause was. I rang our surveyor, almost from the COVID deathbed, not quite, and said, what is this? And I incorrectly or understood that was about how they had managed that process. And I thought they'd managed the process very well. I didn't appreciate that I actually had to, I suppose, defend myself or our business in that process. So I didn't respond, not because I didn't care and not because I had a blatant disregard for all the different conditions, but because I knew that site was safe. I also knew at that stage that the permanent fencing was in place, and that they had one gate, I think, that they had to have fixed, and they had another piece of temporary fencing locked into place so that there was no issues around there. So then they had final inspection, and the site was made up. So we work with the Swimming Pool and Spa Association. We work with the VBA. I have meetings with them whenever I can. We are very caring pool builders, and we care so much about safety, and we work so diligently with the temporary fencing. And as part of this application, I'm showing you the invoices I've paid for the temporary fencing, the photos of my guys on site. We did get, on the 3rd of December, we didn't have the fence in place to be able to get it all ticked off for the fully compliant, but it was definitely there, and it was very, very close. And obviously we then brought in extra fencing to get it around the 4 sides, but at no way was this pool ever left in a state that is required by some of the language in this 36 dot document. So I plead with you. I was completely gutted and emotionally distraught by receiving this, and I'm sorry I don't have the law background to be able to present this. I can't engage a lawyer or anything to write such an impressive document as this. But I would genuinely hope that you will reconsider this, and as I say, I would look forward to working with the VBA of any way that we can improve our systems, because we have very organised systems in trying to help our customers negotiate what is a complicated aspect. We are unable to do the fencing. We were on site for 1 week, and the customer was managing over a 2-month period their whole backyard for lots of different trades. And this is something that's very important and educational that we impose with each and every site occupant to make sure that they're fully aware of their roles in and their responsibility when it comes to building on their property. So, yes, I hope that you will accept this video as a what's the words? If I need to type a letter and call this a certain description, then let me know, and I will resubmit if I need to do it in typing form. And I will be happy to take a meeting or meet to go through this, because, as I said, I'm incredibly disappointed that I have received this, and when I say I, it's under Edward Martin, who is my father, and we've been running this company together, and but I am responsible for the management on site there. So yes, if you could please review this, Caroline, and I look forward to working with you.